The UK says it's poised to impose tougher anti-COVID measures as the infection rate there spirals, with more than 7,000 infections registered in 24 hours.
There is only one way of doing this, and that's by showing a collective forbearance, common sense and willingness to make sacrifices for the safety of others. And I have to be clear that if the evidence requires it, we will not hesitate to take further measures that would, I'm afraid, be more costly than the ones we put into effect now.
1 week ago, the Prime Minister Boris Johnson there brought in a 10 p.m. curfew for pubs, bars and restaurants in England. Similar restrictions were introduced in Scotland and Wales, along with a 15-person limit for weddings. The UK government also introduced a rule of 6, meant to simplify and strengthen the rules on social gatherings. But as Kate Partridge reports, it led to more confusion.
The UK is suffering from COVID-19 confusion. Rising levels of coronavirus infections are causing widespread bafflement among the public and officials struggling to implement the policies aimed to defeat it. Even the Prime Minister mixed up some new restrictions.
It's 6 in a home or 6 in hospitality, but as I understand it, not 6 outside.
But Boris Johnson got it wrong and had to tweet an apology.
Apologies, I misspoke today. In the Northeast, new rules mean you cannot meet people from different households and social settings indoors, including in pubs, restaurants and your home. You should also avoid socialising with other households outside.
That couldn't go unmentioned by the opposition leader, who seized on his rival's gaffe to highlight public confusion about exactly who's supposed to do what.
If the Prime Minister doesn't understand the rules and his own council leaders are complaining about mixed messages, how does the Prime Minister expect the rest of the country to understand and follow the rules?
The Prime Minister is also facing opposition within his own party, with some slamming the new anti-COVID measures and especially their hasty implementation through Parliament as the death of freedom.
When you've got a body of law that large, changing that fast, I doubt really anyone understands what that law is. This is not a fit environment for free people. How do people think that liberty dies? It dies like this, with government exercising draconian powers without parliamentary scrutiny in advance.
Though others think the policies don't go far enough. One Conservative MP thinks the military should oversee any potential mass vaccination and then issue certificates for international travel.
I have written to the Prime Minister recommending that he consider calling on the Ministry of Defence to establish a small task force led by a senior, empowered voice of authority to begin the planning and design of a draft blueprint. The armed forces have the capacity, the logistical experience and the national reach and are not overburdened by any current duties involving tackling COVID-19.
While Parliament itself felt the wrath of public opinion when it was revealed the bars in Westminster were exempt from the new 10 p.m. hospitality curfew, a loophole that was swiftly closed following the indignant backlash.
One rule for them and one for us. No wonder the country is ignoring the 10 p.m. curfew. This whole party is corrupt in everything they do.
Instead of being shocked about Parliament's bar not closing at 10 p.m, shouldn't we be asking why Parliament needs a bar? No wonder MPs keep doing U-turns all the time.
Alexander De Pfeffel and his new cabinet enjoying a pint after 10 p.m. at a private table in the Houses of Parliament bar. Watching Orwell's Animal Farm unfold in real time is really something.
The UK has heard several anti-COVID government mantras. Stay at home, protect the NHS, save lives was a guideline people could understand. But the rule of 6 prompted the question, which 6? And even flummoxed the Prime Minister. Confusion has replaced clarity, which also begs the question, can the government expect the public to follow the rules if they're struggling to explain them or even agree on them? Kate Partridge, RT, London.